hometown Detroit Lions, Jameson Williams, came out with he would get a McDouble and put an Oreo McFlurry on it. Marianne has tried it the other day, and she asked me to try it. I'm like, oh, hell no. And she did a lot more than what Jameson Williams had in the picture. She had it like it was pouring out the sides, this Oreo McFlurry on a McDouble. No. She ate the whole thing. Welcome, everybody, to episode 4 of our casual, comedic, flatulent podcast, Smell That, by the Who Farted crew. Remember, Smell That episodes launch every Tuesday morning, so remember to hit that subscribe on YouTube and follow on your favorite platform. Here today, we're down one member. Couldn't make the show today, but we still got us 3, which is going to be a great show. Myself, Lone Wolf Josh TV. You can find all my stuff at lonewolfjosh.com. And next to me, we have Steve.
Steve at nonsense_Steve everywhere. As usual, find all my stuff on whofartedcrew.com. Our question of the day is, what's your favorite pop? I'm going to go with Diet Coke. That's my go-to.
I skipped over that part.
You did, but I picked it up, so you're good.
My favorite pop, I mean, the pop that I drink the most frequently, and for those of you that don't understand the Midwest lingo,
I was going to say it's also very Midwest of you to put pop, not soda.
Pop, not soda pop, not
Coke.
Because everybody, apparently some people in the South just call everything Coke.
Coke, yeah.
But my favorite pop is vanilla Coke. Even though right now I drink a lot of Coke Zero, but vanilla Coke is my favorite pop. So
it's not readily available sometimes.
Well, how about you introduce yourself and your handles?
My name is Mayan Prophet, and you spell that MayanProfit. And you go anywhere on the internet, and that's my name. So, anyways.
Can you use that in a sentence?
There you go.
Yes. My name is Mayan Prophet.
That's
whofartedcrew.com. You can find everybody.
Yeah, whofartedcrew.com. Go there. You find everybody. You'll find all the social media, our channels. You'll find the podcast information. Go to all that and follow everybody and give the podcast a rating, the best rating you can everywhere. You don't even have to listen to it. Just pop it up on the screen. Let it roll.
I mean, listen. Go ahead.
We'd
listen
appreciate
to it.
it. If listen to it.
Don't listen to it. Just rate it.
Come on. Don't just sit there and turn the closed captions on, because
if you've been following along too, like you already know, Daddio doesn't want you to listen anyway. He just wants you to watch the video.
Let's not put down closed captions either, because we have a lot of people that listen.
I know. I'm just saying,
or that watch.
If
the
you
closed
can
caption.
watch it with the sound, because it's like, it's like when you go see a movie without Dolby or whatever it is now, Enos or whatever it is. So, but you turn the sound on, it's like, oh my God, it fills your ears. And anyways,
we actually had some pretty surprising numbers for our closed captioning and our subtitles. So if you are reading the subtitles, we also appreciate that audience as well. And that's why we do transcribing on every single episode. Daddio, your favorite pop? Did you
favorite pop is Steve stole mine. I like Diet Coke's my favorite.
Diet Coke,
and it's okay, but seasonally, like right now, Canada Dry Cranberry is excellent.
Whoa! Canada, and Steve's holding up Canada.
Is that cranberry?
Dry.
Yeah, Canada Dry Cranberry.
Oh my God, you're like another version
Daddio,
of me.
Simpatico, baby.
Oh.
Yes, love it.
Have you tried Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry?
No.
It's not as good as that, but it is. It's tasty. It's very tasty.
Daddio and I are from Michigan as well, and if there's any other Michiganders listening out there, I apologize. He didn't mean to offend you. Verner's is still number 1 in the state. Don't.
Well, no, I said seasonally.
Don't take offense.
Yeah.
And actually, we had the Verner's. Was it
seasonal Verner's Black Cherry?
Black Cherry. That's like during the like before fall hit, it came out. This comes out, the cranberry stuff comes out like October to January, maybe.
Yeah.
I love that the first part of this episode is just all Midwestern stuff. Like,
So wait, some
Daddio
people
has
listen
made
to
it very clear in the past. It's Werner's if you're just
Yeah.
going regular ginger ale, but for the seasonal, he likes the cranberry Canada Dry. It's the only Canada Dry he likes.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly said.
I'll defend Daddio on that.
Is soft drinks is that acceptable? Soft drinks?
soft drinks?
I mean, that sounds like a word that they tried to make up to just let everybody in on it, you know?
It's like
pop.
season's greetings.
Just start saying pop. If you're from a different region or anything, you just shock somebody in your area and say pop, and it'll blow their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Soda is what you put in a cake or in the refrigerator.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Eddie.ewi for if you listen to our first part of our show, our intro and everything, he does the music, the blooping music. So if you go on TikTok, you go on SoundCloud, all that stuff. Eddie, EDDIE.EWWI. Sorry. But yeah, Eddie does. Eddie gave us the go ahead for the music, for our intro music and stuff, and we've been using it for some other things too. So big shout out to Eddie. Go check out his live TikTok streams, and you'll be
YouTube. Just
you'll get a like a nostalgia feel because I every time that I listen to him, it totally gives me Toe Jam and Earl vibes. If you ever played those games on Sega,
the big feet coming and walking.
The funk zone, hyper funk zone, and it's like blooping and glooping. It's Eddie's is damn good with that kind of music. So go check him out on TikTok, SoundCloud, all that stuff, YouTube. He has his own Discord, things like that. But that is who does the music. If you guys were ever interested in who does the music, and we're gonna transition. We're gonna transition to our first topic, which kind of goes along with the favorite pop kind of thing. But the other day, I was thinking about, actually, this was for my birthday a couple weeks ago. Usually for my birthday, I like to get, just some of my favorite things. I don't have to do anything like crazy or in like wild. Usually I just get a nice breakfast, nice dinner, and then in between there somewhere, I'll usually get like just a couple of my favorite treats or snacks or something. And I got a Reese's like crisp thing, and I thought like, man, chocolate and peanut butter is like my favorite sweet combination. I think it's like probably the best combination for me. So I want to get you guys' opinion on what do you think the best sweet combination is, and then a follow up after this will be savory. But let's talk about sweets first, Steve.
So if we're going sweet, we've established that I'm not much of a chocolate person. I don't hate it or dislike it or anything. It's just not my general go-to. So if I'm talking about sweet combo, I would go with sea salt and caramel. Oh. That would be.
Oh wow!
Just because it's the same deal. Like if you've ever baked anything, if you've made like chocolate chip cookies, if you add sea salt to it, the salt just pops the flavor of the sweet stuff already in there. So salted caramel, that would be my go-to.
I don't know if I've ever tried it, to be honest. I always see like the what is it, salted caramel M&Ms and stuff out there. But I don't think I've ever tried any like salt and sweet stuff.
Yeah, the best way to do it, if you're just trying sea salt and caramel in general, would be like, like the wrapped caramels, the like individual packages you can get at the store. If you just heat that up a little bit, like either hold it in your hand a little while just to let it become a little more pliable, or put it in a little dish in the microwave for like 2-3 seconds, not long at all. Just warm it up a little bit so that if you sprinkle a little salt on top, it'll stick. Top notch. That would be the way to try it.
They even have some of the, there's a local candy company around here, Saunders, and I don't know if they ship them out, but at Costco you can get sea salt caramels, and it's caramel
Yeah.
with chocolate covered, and then the salt's on top, and oh, you bite down into it, and you get that salt and the chocolate and everything going. It's awesome.
Yeah. Typically, when you can like make it in a pan,
Mhm.
like a salted caramel in a pan, and then just chop it up into the little squares to eat. But yeah, the easy way to do it is just to get those pre-made caramels at the store and sprinkle a little salt on top. That's my go-to. It just it like I said, it cuts down on the sweetness a little bit, and it's a little more savory, but it's that whole sweet and salty thing.
So not like just the individual candies or whatever. It's not, is there any like specific brand or anything that you enjoy?
Not,
like,
not
in
really.
That sense?
No, because most caramel. I mean, caramel is really just cooked sugar, so
Yeah.
it's hard to do wrong.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to think of.
Daddio, what about you? What's your sweet combo?
Me?
Yeah.
My favorite sweets? Let's see. I would have to say Breeze and Dilly. That's my favorite sweets. No,
That's your favorite sweets combo?
Always,
you know what? That's fair.
The sweets live.
My favorite, and I don't have it. Like I haven't had it like a long time. Is those? They had those chocolate covered oranges.
Yeah.
Where you snap down on the, I can't remember what brand it is, but you get them and it's like
it like peels into the segments.
Yeah, but you have to smack it down on the
to break
table
it apart
or something, so and then it'll fall apart. So when you open it up, it's like I can't remember what the name of it is.
Yeah, those are really
chocolate orange.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
You've
not really or I think it's kind of maybe it's like freeze dried orange or something.
It's not an actual like chocolate covered orange. It's a packaged thing. It's got like
it comes in a box and you
it's
open
not
it up and
orange
it's a ball.
liqueur, but it's like orange like extract like mixed into the chocolate. So it's like a citrusy chocolate.
But so you're saying but like orange and chocolate is your favorite combination? Is orange
sweet
and chocolate?
combo.
Terry's?
Yeah, for the sweet combo.
He's
he's looking it up, folks. He's doing his typical
his
Daddio research.
Yep.
No, I just want to show you a picture of it. I think this is
gotta find the brand.
It says Terry, but it when you hit it on the thing, it'll break up into like slices, and it's kind of cool. But I haven't had it in that long.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a while, but it's another thing where it's like you get it during the holidays.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, that's it. I definitely know what you're talking about. The Terry's chocolate orange.
It's it just seems weird to me. I don't know.
Well, I think
it's
the
good.
reason why I like it is because I was a mailman and people, like, holiday time, people give me candy and stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely seen this before. Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, it's good.
But so for those of you listening, he's talking. He said Terry's chocolate orange, and if you just Google it, it's just basically a chocolate in the shape of an orange that has orange flavor in the chocolate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's
still weird.
I know it is weird.
But
like I said before, I think you asked me my favorite candy bar, and I think it's basically the same thing as Snickers bar is my favorite candy bar. So that would be chocolate, caramel, and peanuts. So I don't know. That's got to be the
it's
go-to.
the salty sweet. That's the thing.
Interesting. The orange chocolate. The orange and chocolate just seems weird.
But I know, but when you break it open, it's all chocolate still until you bite into it, and it's the orange is inside the individual pieces.
So how about your favorite savory combination? Not sweet, but savory. Should we circle back to you?
Yeah.
What, you want me to go first?
Yeah. Go ahead, just Steve. You got one?
I'm kind of torn. I'm gonna go with like good crusty Italian bread and olive oil. That's, I think, when you go to a nice Italian restaurant and they've got the olive oil and the spices with your bread.
Yeah.
That's
you drag through the oil.
Yeah, exactly. just
gross.
straight into your arteries.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm looking for. If it's not that, then it's rice and beans. But I'm gonna go with the bread and olive oil.
We're gonna have to go over all our food things because I think they're all exactly the same.
God, garlic bread would be a good one too. Now that you say that, garlic bread's
we
pretty.
used to have
pretty
that
good.
restaurant that got tore down by the freeway, and they had the best. They made their own
Garlic bread,
the bread, and then the oil, the olive oil that they brought out, and they mixed in the spices with it. And it was like, oh my gosh, that was the
that's
biggest
good.
loss.
I think for me, I this might be like basic as hell, but like the spaghetti sauce and meatballs. Just sauce and meatballs. Or like I don't know. I think that's I like Italian food in general.
Yeah.
So like just like or like the Alfredo and chicken, like the chicken Alfredo, fettuccine and stuff like that. Alfredo goes good with chicken and like the spaghetti sauce, the marinara goes good with meatballs.
It's like Italian biscuit gravy.
Is that too basic though?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not when we're talking about chocolate and peanut butter.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's I think
pretty
saying
basic.
like spaghetti and meatballs is fine because that's
Oh,
really
yeah.
what
Yeah,
we're
that's-
talking about is what's your favorite combos. So
I believe that might be a step above chocolate and peanut butter.
What, spaghetti
got
and
one.
meatballs?
Yeah.
Spaghetti and meatballs is a step above chocolate and peanut butter?
About being. You said, is that basic? No, chocolate and peanut butter is as basic as you can get. That's like the flat line.
That's
I think
little-
peanut butter and jelly is probably the baseline. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
very true.
Yeah.
You got one? Daddy,
Savory, yes. And we used to make them all the time. Pigs in a blanket, man.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Huh? We even made them with the cocktail weenies too. Sometimes it was like for appetizers. But I used to go and get used to use ballparks, but I've discovered this new butchery place in Michigan called Kogel. Is it Kogel's?
Yeah,
Kogel's.
Kogel's is it's it's our well-known brand. They usually know them for like the hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they usually serve up the Kogel hot dogs at the stadium,
was-
so like Comerica.
There's Dinner Franks, and then there's is it Wieners, or is it something called? Not
What
the
are you
Dinner
saying
Franks.
here? What are we?
I just no the Kogel brand. There's like it's the same meat, but they just prepare them differently. Like the one is like it's in the package, but it's all connected, and the other one is just individual sausages or wieners or hot dogs, whatever. But you get those, and you get the full size crescents, and just
Yep.
there you go.
I'll do that with the I'll do like half of a crescent roll and the Little Smokies.
Oh yeah,
Hillshire
yeah.
Farm Little Smokies. And then just
Little
I'll just be
Smokies are
popping those like popcorn all night long.
So then you do the Little Smokies and the barbecue sauce in the crock pot for parties and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, here's
great.
one
And that-
for you, Josh. Since you mentioned the pasta sauce and meatballs, have you ever had the slow cooker cocktail meatballs, which is like the frozen meatballs or homemade, however you want to do it, with what it's like Heinz 57 and the canned cranberry sauce.
Sweet and sour.
I was gonna say
So-
we did the
so it's like-
Swedish meatballs. But
Oh, so it's like it's like you put it in the slow cooker for like 4 hours and comes out to be like cranberry meatballs. Delicious.
Man.
That's another like sweet and savory thing.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Do the-
If you
we used to do
whenever you're in the
sour.
store, if you look at like the back of the Heinz 57 bottle, the recipe is on there.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yep.
God, now I want meatballs. It's
Well,
all
that's
this
what I'm
talk
saying.
about
Because like we'll have a
meatballs.
party and we'll make those slow cooker meatballs, and I'll intentionally make way too many because then I'll just have leftovers
Oh,
and I'll just eat those out of the
yeah.
fridge for a day and a half.
You could just make a whole pot for yourself and freeze
Oh,
them in
so
freezer
good, man.
bags. Yeah.
So good.
What do you
Like
have for
Wax
lunch?
was talking about last episode with the potatoes, how he just
yeah.
randomly makes funeral potatoes for dinner occasionally. I'll just
Yep.
make those meatballs for myself, just have something to snack on.
And then with that stuff like that, and then you get the little smokies. You got to eat it with a toothpick too.
Oh yeah.
Don't use a
it feels
fork.
more dignified.
Just
Right?
use the toothpick to just stab those little things and just eat. Don't use a fork. Don't use your hands. Use
Well,
a
if I use a fork, I'll eat like 5 at a time because I'll just keep stabbing them. But if I have the tiny toothpick, I'm restraining myself.
You got to use a ladle. Come on.
Just
You
pour
can't
it
a
just-
ladle to just pour them in your mouth.
Yeah, just pour it in.
My God.
Slop it in there, baby.
Yep.
Oh gosh. How about any weird combinations that you heard of? I know one for sure that I've heard of from the new Tennessee Titans quarterback, Will Levis.
Oh,
He
I'm
uses-
trying it.
He uses mayonnaise in his coffee. Mayonnaise. Ugh.
One of my roommates used to do the grass-fed, the Kerrygold, the grass-fed butter
Yep.
in his
Irish.
coffee.
Oh yeah, I've actually Marianne's done that a couple of times.
Yeah, because it's like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be because it's like a better fat or something, so
Yeah.
it's supposed to be better than cream.
Yep, she's done that a couple of times. Yeah, because we love the keto stuff, so
Yeah.
she usually does that to just get some extra fat in her diet for the day.
Yeah.
So that I've tasted that. It's not bad, and
Yeah.
you can't really tell.
It can't possibly be as bad as mayo in your coffee.
Oh God,
I don't
Just-
think nobody should comment on that unless they've tried it. I mean, it sounds bad, but all it is egg white.
yeah, another one,
in
real
oil
quick, since
and
we're on
egg white
football
oil.
players.
Oh,
Recently, our own Detroit Lions, Jameson Williams, came out with he would get a McDouble and put an Oreo McFlurry on it, and then close it
No,
up and eat it.
that's- no.
You want to know something? The other day, we were cheating for on keto for Thanksgiving and stuff, but Marianne has tried it the other day, and she asked me to try it. I'm like, oh hell no. And she did a lot more than what Jameson Williams had in the picture. She had it like it was pouring out the sides. This Oreo McFlurry on a McDouble. She ate the whole thing.
But speaking of that, that reminds me another good food combo: Wendy's fries in Frosties.
Oh yeah.
That's yep.
That's
that
a
always
fantastic
works.
That again,
always
the salty sweet. Any salty
Yeah.
sweet, I'm all about it.
They've got peppermint frosties right now.
They do.
That would be
Next
great with
sponsor,
French fries.
Wendy's.
Yeah,
Wendy's. I
us
love
up.
the chili. I stand by their
right.
chili.
100%.
Chili's awesome.
It's a weird combinations, yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so when I was a kid, my parents used to stay down in Kentucky with their family for the summer. I used to. I was working. I was older. I mean, I wasn't 12 or anything, but I got to where I liked. It's peanut butter, pickle, and mustard sandwich.
It's pretty weird.
Oh,
And it
What?
couldn't just be. It had to be the
peanut butter pickle and
dill
mustard?
pickle chips, and you put it in. Yeah, I don't know how it came about it, but it was cheap. I mean, I
Yeah.
liked it, so whatever.
Oh my!
Is
The
that
only thing
weird?
I can think of that like I enjoy that would be considered like a weird combo just because my wife thinks it's really weird is I will every once in a while have ketchup on my eggs.
Oh my God! I was gonna mention that because Marianne does that.
Oh,
And
so
I know
does
I've
your
been mentioning
uncle.
I've been mentioning a lot about my wife too,
I
but
put
she does that anytime we have eggs. She puts ketchup on her eggs.
I won't do it every time. I'll do it if it depends because like when my wife cooks eggs, they're fluffy and fantastic. But when we go out to eat, it's hit or miss. And if I get an omelet that's like super dry, then I have to put something on it. And I'll typically put ketchup and hot sauce.
Yeah, Frank's Red Hot for me. Like,
Yeah, try to like drown the flavor.
Frank's Red Hot on eggs and like
Cholula, yeah.
Yeah, Cholula but Frank's Red Hot, I just feel like goes with anything.
Pretty much.
It's so good. I put that on eggs, but
yeah.
Marianne, anytime she has scrambled eggs, or like she'll go out and have an omelet at a restaurant or something. If we go out for breakfast, ketchup on the eggs.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't do it. I chased it once and I'm like, I can't. These flavors don't work for me.
Yeah.
Just can't do it. Give you some Frank's Red Hot. That stuff you could put on anything. And that's the slogan. That's their slogan. All right, with that, we'll throw it into our next segment, which is Up to Steve. Steve, what do you got for us?
Well, I mean, I think this is going to be a little bit boring at the start because I'm pretty sure I already know the answer, and Wax was going to be the only person that was outside the ordinary here. But are you a cat person or a dog person? And do you have a specific reason why? So, Daddio, we'll start with you. Cats or dogs, and why?
I like both. I think I started out being a dog person because of all my family. My uncle raised beagles, so my dad had like 5 or 6 beagles that the neighbors weren't very happy with, because they lived in a pen out in the back. We built a really nice big pen right next to our garage, and we had like, I'm trying to think how big it was. It was like 5-foot square doghouse that they had to go into, and it was heated and stuff. So I started out to be a dog person, and I didn't really like cats at the beginning, but then I got older and started getting a job, and then all the stray cats seemed to follow me wherever I went. So I think we have a total of 6 of them. Did 3 at one time and 3 at another time. But it worked out pretty good. So
that was my childhood. Yeah, it was all cats.
It's funny
we had
too.
Kimba, we had Arthur.
Yeah, Kimba was first. Kimba had he had black tipped ears, and then he had an H.
Oh, tip. Okay. I thought you were going to go something way different there.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, Kimba the White Lion. That's why he named him Kimba, because it was after Kimba the White Lion. It was a cartoon back when it was like an American anime back in, but you know how they had the stop action.
Okay.
Whatever the cat, whatever. But we named it after that one. And so it was Kimba, and then it was it Tuxedo and Arthur?
Yeah, Tux and then Arthur.
Yeah. And then they went the way of the wind. And then we had Tigger. Tigger was like Tigger was only liked me and Josh.
It's funny.
Yeah.
He was brutal.
he didn't like anybody. I think it was because we played with him so much and we just let him like gnaw on our arm all the time. Nice. So we used to like get into like fights with him, and he loved it. So he would like leave marks all up and down our arm. Jeez. But it was fun. Like I didn't have a problem with it. Yeah. I knew we were just he was just, it wasn't like a vicious thing. Like he was just playing.
He's just playing.
He did learn how to just kind of bite down hard enough and then twist his head. It's like, all right, we're not doing that no more. You little. But he would chase. You know those little octopus that you throw and it rolls down the wall.
Yeah.
We had one of those, and he would fetch it, and whenever he wasn't fetching it, he'd have it on top of the cat tower. Like if you took it away from him, he'd get really sad. It's really weird. I don't know how to.
Then we had Oreo.
Yeah, it was
hilarious.
Then,
after that, we had Bandit. Yeah.
So those 3 were together. So.
All right.
And then after
this is very eye-opening. My wife had 2 cats growing up, and they were Tigger and Oreo.
Oh my God. That's fun. See, I'm telling you.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I've always been a dog person. I've never had like an issue with cats, but I like my family never owned cats. I was always a dog person, and then when I started dating my wife, her family had cats, and I found out that I'm like deathly allergic.
Oh god.
So I had to take like an allergy pill every time I would go over there. The crazy thing is that my wife and her, like, she's got 4 sisters. So I believe 3 of the 4 sisters are all allergic to cats. And yet they had nothing but cats growing
Oh
up.
my god.
So I was like, why do you do that to yourself? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But yeah, I've never actually owned a cat because of that. Nothing personal against them. It's just I can't be by them.
Like we had, growing up, we had all those cats and stuff, and I think it probably
then we
turned me off.
transitioned, right?
It probably turned me off of cats.
Yeah.
because I don't want to get another. Like I loved Tigger was my cat. Like I loved that cat. But after we were done with those cats, I was just like, I don't want to deal with like the clawing, the pee smell. That's the biggest thing for me is the pee smell.
Yeah. The litter box.
I hate it. It stinks so bad. It's just a distinct
The ammonia
smell.
smell is just so horrible.
It's really bad. So it's like I growing up, I always wanted a husky because I obviously look at my name and look, I love wolves. Like they're my favorite animal, and the closest thing you can get to a wolf is basically a husky. So I remember after we had the cats, when I was still living at the parents' house, Daddio Mamio's, I was begging them. Like my mom started to get, she got a beagle,
Yeah.
and then I was like begging to get this husky that I found on the site was called Next Day Pets. And I was just like looking on. I know it sounds weird, but it was crazy how it worked out. I was just looking for huskies, and I went on that site, and there was like a breeder or something down in Indiana, and I was contacting her, and then I had to go through the one guy that has to give the yes in the household, that always tells you no in the household.
Daddio has his hand up for those audio listeners.
What's the audio version of hand up?
I had to beg this man to get this dog because I don't know if you feel it, and Daddio with the cats and stuff, and Steve with your pets and stuff, but when you see a pet that you had, that you immediately get like a connection to it.
Yeah.
You know, where it's kind of hard to describe, where it's like, so I was scrolling through and I saw Indiana is what I named her. And I'll get to that in a second.
There's two.
But I saw a picture of her, and I saw her nose, and her nose was like the cutest thing to me. And I was just like, I need to get this dog. We got to get this dog.
Yep.
So I was begging Daddio to get this dog, and it came down to me cleaning out the shed. So
I'll just say, I didn't think he was gonna be able to do it. That's why I gave him that chore.
But the funny thing is I'm pretty sure that is the only pet that Daddio said yes to, gave a definitive yes to. Was that dog. So the breeder she was from Indiana, but the reason why I named her Indiana was, if you ever watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, they said Sean Connery goes, we named the dog Indiana. Yeah. And when you start that movie, he runs in. It's a husky.
Yeah, but we didn't
Indiana's
see the
husky.
We didn't see that until after you named it, and then we go back and watch it, and then you see it.
No, that's the reason why I named her Indiana. That was the exact reason. I didn't know she was from Indiana until we named her Indiana. That was the other part. But I immediately, because we were, that's one of those movies where we watched religiously.
Oh,
Yeah.
In my house, and when
If
he
it's
comes
on now, I'm
running in the
gonna go.
house, you'll you'll see that husky, and they never say if it's a boy or a girl. So I said I'm gonna name Indiana, the dog Indiana, and then right now we recently got a Labrador because that was more like adult Josh, and me and my wife talked about having a Labrador with our family like years ago. We had this like perfect picture for us for having our own house, having, kids. And then we also had the Labrador in our like vision of like what we wanted as our own stuff. And yeah, when he was at, when he was at a pet store at the mall. And the funny thing is we went out to breakfast that morning, and I wasn't planning on getting a dog that day, but my wife, Marianne, goes, let's go to the mall. Why don't we go to the pet store? And she has no intentions of getting a dog. She just likes to go to that store because she just likes seeing the dogs, right? She was totally against it too. And I said, I looked online. I looked at what was there for the dogs and stuff, and I'm like, and I saw Winnie's picture, and I'm like, if you take me here, we're going to end up getting this dog. And sure as shit, we went there. The kids played with her. I played with her, and I couldn't get enough of her. I was just like, I gotta have this little doggy because it fits our vision. And I went probably long time on that story, but
Can I add something here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Labradors aren't really, rambunctious. So I guess Josh got the one of the ones that are, because usually they don't. She's full of energy. I think she's got more energy than Tuna does.
The reason why we wanted a Labrador was because they're extremely loyal, like super loyal, and she is, man. Whoa, she loves this whole family. We love her. And then B is they're very trainable, which is why I wanted to like. The big thing for me is to make sure that Winnie gets to a point where she doesn't have to have a leash, and we're getting there because like. A lot of the time we just open up the gate or open up the door. She goes running in the car, or she'll go running in the backyard. I just wanted a dog that just was like super loyal, that didn't run away or anything. If you let him off the leash and listened very well, and she does very well. So like she's a very, very good dog, but man, she gets excited.
Yeah.
She gets excited. She loves people. So she does, and the place we take her to said that a lot of labs do this, but they do the mouthing when they get really excited. Mm-hmm. Like they can't handle their excitement. They don't stop moving, and then they do like mouth you. They don't bite down. They just kind of mouth you. They just kind of put your hand in their mouth and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I get that might freak somebody out, but she doesn't do it in like a vicious way or anything. But
right.
She lost her puppy teeth because
yeah,
thank God.
Yeah, she was a little ankle biter when she was little.
Oh my God.
Like we had to wear socks when she was little. Like she's the cutest dog in the world, but Marianne hated that time.
Yeah,
and she's never had a puppy before. She had a dog, but she got it when it was elderly. So she kind of rescued the dog. Hope was a red and white beagle, but she's never experienced a puppy.
Yeah,
So if you've never experienced a puppy before, you know, they're trying to bite because they're teething and stuff. And we had the kids would jump on the couches to try and like block her from nipping at them, and it was pretty funny.
Nice.
I went way over on that one. That was a lot because I mean, we've been a very like big pet family from now and in back then with Daddio and Momio and parents' household and stuff. We've been big pet people, so it's there's a lot of stories with the pets.
Oh, well, along those same pet lines then, if outside of a cat or dog, if you had to pick some kind of exotic animal, some unusual animal to domesticate, what would it be?
I can tell you mine right off the bat.
Go for it.
I already know it's yours.
Because I've always dreamed of it. A ring-tailed lemur.
Oh, no.
Okay.
What?
Because I heard that in Michigan you can actually have a ring-tailed lemur, but they have to be bred in Michigan.
Okay.
Which I don't know if there's any breeders in Michigan with ring-tailed lemurs.
If you'd like to be a sponsor and give Josh a ring-tailed lemur.
You said exotic, though.
That's exotic.
I mean, it's not a traditional house pet.
You don't see ring-tailed lemurs just hopping around.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the funny thing. So I used to, when I was an EMT, I would do medical at the zoo, at the Detroit Zoo, and I would go there all the time, and you can get them riled up if you howl sometimes, and then they'll just start screaming, and I thought that was funny, but also terrible if you have a house pet that screams like that
right.
all the time. But the best thing is like they're just jumping around. They're adorable looking, and then apparently they it's weird because they act like cats, kind of. I guess is what was what the trainers would say. They're kind of like cats, and I don't know if like they can be trained to a litter box and stuff if you want to. And I know that this is weird, and I thought a lot about this over the years because I was like, I really want a ring-tailed lemur. Or the other one was I was really close to getting a duck.
Okay.
When I first started to move, like I look into moving out of the parents' house. I looked into like having a roommate and stuff, and we were looking at places, and we were like, dude, we got to have a duck. We got to have a duck. I don't know why, but I would love to have a duck because we when we watched the Friends episode where it has the ducks walking around.
Yep.
I was like, man, I want a duck.
Does that chick swim? I don't know. Let's see.
What about you, Daddio?
I was gonna say I've been talking too much. I need to be quiet for like the next 40 minutes.
You look at me, you might think polar bear,
Reindeer. That's a
reindeer, polar bear, yeah, stuff like that. But no, and I ain't that crazy guy from down south. I'd like a tiger in my backyard.
okay.
You know,
You like to be the Tiger King?
no.
Carol
Just
Baskin?
one tiger. I don't want to be
Just one?
Siegfried and Roy either. That had the white tigers that are whatever. They made each other, so that's why they're white. But anyways, a Siberian tiger too. Not just. It's a smaller version, but they're more vicious, man.
Wants to be Mike Tyson. He wants to be.
Yeah.
This tiger
Mike
walking
Tyson.
around.
I don't want no bitches stealing them and taking them to the damn bathroom of the penthouse, though. That's not right. That's horrible. Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, I've always had mine like right over my shoulder here. I've got my.
What is it that you're pointing at?
I've got my Rocket City Trash Pandas pennant back there. I've also got my Trash Panda shirt on today, just this special occasion. So I was always jealous. There was a guy when we were in college who had a pet raccoon, and he would walk him around on a leash through the neighborhood. I was like, damn, that is the coolest guy. Just because he has a pet raccoon.
Very smart. From what I've seen, like, and if you watch TikToks and stuff, like They are some hilarious animals.
Yeah, they're
Hilarious.
smart and they will eat out of their paws. You just have to keep them clean and you have to keep up with
Yeah.
their shots to make sure they don't get rabies.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's it.
I had a friend that had one.
As long as you're not scared of rabies, no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I feel like I've seen one of them. I feel like everybody's seen is the raccoon that like steals the dog food. The video where he runs up, or he doesn't run up. He kind of creeps up real
waddles up,
slow,
just-
and then he just grabs a handful and then runs on his two legs, just like waddling back and forth, sprinting away with this dog food in his hands. I'm like, my God,
Yeah.
that's funny.
All right, Daddio, what do you got this week?
I was gonna say I added one. Red pandas are awesome. I'd like to
yeah.
look up on those, and those are fun to watch in the winter. But
I love red pandas. They're adorable. Anytime we go to the zoo, the Detroit Zoo has like this bridge across their encounter where it's the rope bridge or whatever that you can walk over.
it's all netted.
We go, we love going on there because they look so little, like cuddly, and they're fluffy, and it's cute as hell. We actually had we had 2 baby red pandas, I think.
Yeah.
Just
You have
recently.
somebody to hug. I don't want you to explode with all the cuteness.
Yep, I got somebody.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, I have some time to watch TV, and then over the years I've watched a lot of TV, and I'm sitting here watching this commercial of. It looks like a Norse god, or not a Greek god walking up steps, and his cape goes flying off. He's all chiseled and everything, and he picks up this bottle, and it's a perfume commercial. It's like, I'm thinking, who's gonna? I mean, I'm watching the History Channel. Who in that channel is gonna go and buy that perfume?
Who is this
And then there's
appealing
another
to?
one. Yeah, it's like, well, aren't you on the wrong channel? And it's just nothing but perfume commercials. They do show the Johnny Depp one, which is that's kind of cool, but it's same difference. So I was thinking, what would you make for the regular person? I came up with a couple. I'm thinking Backyard Grilling by Weber, or Grass Stained Jeans by Levi, or Greasy Garage by Craftsman. But just all those scents. What would you have for a perfume to sell, like the high profile perfume? What would you have for the regular guy?
I feel like that's kind of what Old Spice does, right? Is make fun of those high-end commercials with their over-the-top ridiculous commercials.
Definitely.
But I'm trying to, like, if I was just trying to make a scent for a regular person with a regular commercial,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a great question.
I mean, do you wear any kind of cologne? I mean, I wear aftershave, but I don't.
I don't.
Where do you go? I mean,
Hot sauce.
we're going to the movies.
Sauce.
A Frank's Red Hot
Okay.
sauce. Like just perfume.
It
You
just,
just
has to
smell like Frank's Red Hot all the time.
It can't be red hot. If you do
Right.
put it on your behind your ears, it's gonna burn. So you're gonna have to have salve for that.
Here's a good one. How about cologne that's Orville Redenbacher and you just smell like popcorn?
That's awesome.
This would be
Buttered
high-end
popcorn
perfume.
cologne.
Yeah,
Did
well,
you go to the
it doesn't have
movies
to-
today? Nope. Just my cologne.
No, but you can come in for the premiere. It just blew my mind that they had the perfumes on the like the stuff that people are watching, and you're going for the wrong people.
Right.
People.
Targeting the wrong audience.
Like
The
if you're
crazy
watching-
thing is that the other day I was watching commercials on I think it was Midnight Sumo, to be honest. Or it was like some crazy Japanese commercials. You know, Tommy Lee Jones.
Did you see him? I told you.
What was that for?
I don't know. He's
Was that-
drinking something.
It's like a coffee drink or
Yeah, it
something.
looked like a small coffee shot or something. It's like But
he has
he's
a
there.
whole series of Tommy Lee Jones Boss, whatever the drink is. He's got a whole series of commercials in Japan.
Boss 500 or something.
And they're crazy commercials.
Yeah, he gets run over in space.
He's got like this wetsuit on and he's like swimming like a dolphin over to Hawaii or something. I don't understand that, like like crazy brand like sponsorships from, or like actors and actresses that have done things like that.
Just like Joey.
That's got to be up there.
Ichiban.
Yeah, the
lipstick
the
for men.
Japanese commercial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones in a Japanese drink commercial or something. And it wasn't just one, it was like a series of commercials.
Like I saw the one where they're out in space somewhere and he's in a spacesuit out in space and they run him over and he just goes, ah. It wasn't even words. So, oh my gosh. All right. And then there's the other thing that kind of ticked me off now that I realize it. Pawn Stars and American Pickers. I used to watch American Pickers. I thought it was interesting. And then I'm thinking, they're going and getting this stuff out of people's garages. And these people could use a little bit more money than they're giving them. And they're making tons of cash out of this stuff. So I was like, I don't watch that stuff anymore. And I'm kind of upset. And Pawn Stars does the same thing, but it's like the same thing over and over again. So, I mean,
why to badmouth Antiques Roadshow or something?
No, because they just tell you what it's worth. They don't. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are there that might want to buy it, but that was like set up. It's funny that you said that because I was going to say that too.
Antiques Roadshow? You're a badmouth Antiques Roadshow?
No, I'm saying Antiques Roadshow was actually the good show. It's like you bring. I found this bread box in the back of my cupboard. It's worth $20,000.
Well, see, I think
go sell that.
I think that Pawn Stars is actually worse than American Pickers.
Oh yeah,
because with Pawn Stars they will literally bring in an expert, and they'll say like, "Okay, how much will this sell for?" And the expert will tell them with the person standing right there, like, "Oh, at auction this will go for $15,000." All right, sweet, thank you. All right, best I can do is $7,000.
Yeah,
he just said 15 to my face. Yeah, but you'd have to take it to the auction yourself, and then you'd have to pay the fees, and then like, come on, man, you're literally ripping them off. Whereas with American Pickers, I know that they're not giving them the full value, but a lot of the stuff that they get, they are restoring. So it's not like they're just taking it straight and selling it. Plus, they're coming to their house. Yeah. So they're going to their shed, their garage, whatever, and picking it up. So the person literally has to go nowhere, do nothing. They just have to be at home, and you take my junk that I wasn't using, and I get money for it. So that, I feel like, makes a little more sense.
Yeah, but I mean,
the Pawn Stars one just always bothers me.
Oh, Pawn Stars. Yeah. I watched the first couple of shows, and I said, oh, that's horrible. Why would you do that? The Pickers, though, I got interested because... And I did a little reading on them, and some people said it's scripted. They know where they're going. They just don't know what they're getting. Right. So it's actually, but, those two guys, well, the one guy had to quit because of medical problems, but he goes around with his brother and other people now. So,
yeah.
But they go in there, and it's like, they know what stuff's going to go for. And it's like, look at this dirty old rusty bike. I'll give you $20 for it. And then they turn it over for $1,000. I mean, some of the stuff they don't even restore, that people like it rusted and whatever, and they hang it up in their bars or whatever too. So
they also have a lot of those things on there where it's like, they call them the icebreakers, where it's like just to get the ball rolling with the selling stuff is they'll buy something for $20 that they know is worth $15. Just to make them understand, like, hey, I'm here to buy stuff and give you money for your junk that you don't want anymore.
Yeah, something you haven't looked at in 20 years. It's been in your barn.
I know you're a hoarder, and it's really difficult for you to give this up, but I'd like to buy this thing from you.
Weird,
I don't
isn't
know
it?
if I have. I don't have like any. I haven't watched these shows
You don't
except for
watch 'em?
Antique Roadshow. But I think the
That's a good
thing
show.
that I was going to
Don't
mention.
drag him.
The thing that I was going to mention was what you said that these things are scripted and stuff. But that's what makes me irritated is that it's so obviously scripted. Like it that. And then people get into their heads like, oh, this is crazy. This is like
Yeah.
a lot of the shows, especially reality shows now, you can tell are scripted.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that I think that's what irritates me the most is like it's somewhere in the reality TV era, it stopped being reality TV and they're just scripting it like like Ms. and Mrs. or shows like that where it's like it's supposed to be reality TV, but it is so obviously scripted,
Right.
that, and then it just dupes people into thinking like
I know
that
you don't
that's
like
reality
Miz,
TV.
but I mean that show is pretty funny. I haven't watched it in a while, but
I just don't like
you don't
I
like
don't
Miz
like
because
that
he
it's
was on
scripted.
Real World.
It's scripted and they play it like it's reality TV. It's
Right.
So stop calling it reality TV when it's scripted. So that's why I don't like that show. That's why I don't like the shows like that,
That
because
show, they know it's like that.
it's scripted, but it
But
gets people,
I think it started, with the Real World and Road Rules or whatever that, they first off, it was really genuine, but then they figured, hey, they picked me on this. I'm going to be on MTV. I'm going to do something to make me famous. I'm going to be an asshole, or I'm going to be, I'm going to create a problem or something. But so
reality TV started with reality. Like it was just it started that way, and then they just somewhere in the middle of it, they found that it was just better for viewers if everything was just wild. Yeah. So they just scripted all of these things into it, and now it's just so obvious that it's scripted,
Right.
that I don't even watch reality TV show anymore.
Right. Same.
So,
documentaries. I watch documentaries more now.
Yep. I'll watch documentaries over reality TV anytime.
Yeah.
or we're really winning over the 60+ crowd right
Yeah.
now.
Hey. Don't forget.
At some point in your life, you got to turn to World War II history documentaries and.
Oh, don't get
And,
me started
yeah.
on that. Because you had the History Channel, and they had all the stupid reality stuff. And they used to have History 2, which had all those. So you didn't have to bother with it. You could pick one of your History channels, to, whatever. Now that turned into some marijuana smoking channel. And then, what was the name of it? I don't remember. I can't remember.
I don't know.
But anyways, and now it's just like you got American Pickers. That's not history. Kind of history, but it's just people screwing other people out of money. You got Pawn Stars that they play all day. You got Swamp People, which is kind of interesting some days, but you can't sit there and watch this stuff all day long. It's just supposed to be a couple of episodes at a time. Come on.
Yeah.
Getting lazy.
with that, I mean, we'll
Crazy.
move away from the TV shows that irritate you and move on to something a little bit more positive, which the holidays, Christmas time and whatever holiday that you celebrate is coming up here. We got a lot of gift giving going on, and our crazy news story of the day is actually going to be a HuffPost article about 44 weird Christmas gift ideas for the oddballs out there. And this, not just Christmas, but at whatever you celebrate, this is a good gift giving guide for the oddballs out there. So in this article, they have a lot of I pulled a couple out, but if you want to scroll through it and find something, that's fine. But so here's a couple of things here. And right off the bat, I know Daddio would love this Roswell alien plaque that you can put on your wall.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like
It's an alien that sticks out, and you just put it on your wall there.
Okay. Hands are sticking out of the wall and the head's sticking out of the wall for those of you who are just listening.
Yep,
Nice.
yep.
I got you on there.
And Daddio loves the alien stuff, so I feel like that'd be That's not what I'm getting you. So don't worry
Oh,
about
that's
it.
I have nowhere to put that.
Well, yeah.
Except next to my.
The next one that I have on this list is spicy lip balms inspired by Indian foods.
Oh no. No.
All right.
I don't think there's any Indian spice that doesn't give you diarrhea.
Or I feel like if you put this on, your lips would just blow up, like just swell up because of all the spices on it. Just spicy lip balms by Indian foods. That's crazy. There's another one on here that was a sexy plus size elf costume, and in the picture is a plus size gentleman, a hairy plus size gentleman. So they're obviously advertising it to men like us. So
Right.
Not me. Maybe I'm selling them.
maybe you want the sexy plus size elf costume there. The next one is Absolute and Kahlua fragrance, which kind of goes with what we were saying.
Yeah, we
earlier.
were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm.
So if you
there
want
you
to
go.
just smell like alcohol, I mean,
Right. If you want to smell like an alcoholic, but not
you just
actually
pour
have to
the
be an alcoholic.
just don't get pulled over when you're driving over
Just
to
pour it on
Right.
your
family's
body.
house.
You don't have to drink it.
There's a cockroach plush toy.
Nice.
And it's like an oversized one. It's not like, it's not like a little thing. It's an oversized, like, couch pillow type of cockroach plush toy thing. It's huge. That's good. And then my favorite on this list is the stomach fanny pack. So it's a fanny pack in the shape of an actual human stomach.
Nice.
So if you guys need any gift ideas, that's a good one. Those are all good choices out there for the oddballs in your family. If you get the stomach fanny pack, let us know, because I would love to see pictures of it. Is there anything on the list that catches your guys' eyes? Or
Why you passed over monkey see, monkey poo game?
Yeah, that was a good one. I think what would be
missed that
perfect
one.
for us, though, given how we do this and everything that we do, is the business casual T-shirt. It looks like you're wearing a button-up shirt and a sport coat, but it's really just a T-shirt. I think that's a pretty good one.
That's the way to do it.
it's a lot of good stuff. There's 44 on here, so if you want to go check out the HuffPost has a great article on there. Anything else catching your eye?
Let's
Daddio?
see. Now the stomach fanny pack is just kind of weird.
The stomach fanny
I'm not
pack
sure.
looks really weird. Really weird. It's
PB&J
hilarious.
chocolate pot edible. No, we don't need that. No. A middle finger duck. Did you see that?
I saw that too. I forgot to put that on there.
That's awesome.
You guys got to look at this article on HuffPost.
Yeah.
It's like it's an actual like human hand molding with the middle finger, but it's painted all white and has like a duck on the middle finger.
Nice.
So it's
That's awesome.
which is hilarious.
Oh,
I love it. So perfect gift ideas for for whatever holiday you celebrate.
Yep.
If you want to get some gifts for your friends or family, get that stomach fanny pack. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Get
God,
that stomach fanny pack and take a picture and tag us on our socials with the Who Farted Crew,
exactly.
because I
What
want to
about
see
the
it.
alligator bag?
The alligator bag.
Yeah, it's just a bag shaped like an alligator. It's not a bag made out of alligator.
Oh, that's the Loki alligator.
The what?
It's a
oh
Loki
no,
alligator.
is it?
So it's got the horns like Loki.
Yeah. I gotta
And
look
yeah,
at this one.
it's
Oh, there's a game called Doo-Doo Kangaroo. That's a kangaroo sitting on a toilet.
Everything, dude.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's a good one.
When you're sitting on a toilet?
Yeah,
There's a lot of poop
he's sitting on a
games.
toilet.
God.
And it's not even an airplane toilet. It's a regular sized toilet.
Cockroach plush toy. That's a good one.
yeah, the cockroach plush toy I thought was great.
Weird.
It was it's just a giant cockroach. It's like you could sleep with it if you want. You could cuddle up with it. It's pretty funny. So those are some great ideas. If you're looking for something just a little weird, there you go. We got you covered. So go check it out. Go get that stomach fanny pack, like I said, because that'd be hilarious. Tag us in the socials. So I want to see it. So
Forget about the
That's
smoked trout brandy too.
that's our crazy news story of the day, which was crazy gift ideas for the holidays. So since we are in December now,
Coming up.
and we got a lot of holidays coming up, so that's a good couple of ideas for you for the oddballs in your life. That's about it for us on this episode, though, episode 4. Any final thoughts, Steve?
I don't know. We talked a lot today. I think I've given you all the thoughts that you can possibly handle. My final thoughts for this is just going to be what I had a couple episodes ago. Again, leave us a voicemail. Leave us a comment. Leave the 5 stars wherever you can. All that fun stuff. Daddio, how about you? Got final thoughts for today?
Don't watch Pawn Stars, or you can watch American Pickers, but that's fine. But anyways, yeah.
Just remember that reality isn't reality.
Go to that website and buy
True,
that
yes.
middle finger duck, because you won't regret it. Your neighbors will love you.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Just have it out the window.
Yep.
Yeah.
whatever
hanging out,
neighbor you don't
Get
like.
3 or 4 of them. You could even
Just
put
line
those,
them up in the window.
You could even put a little Santa hat on the top of the finger, the duck, the head, whatever. Go ahead. Yeah, that's it.
The middle finger duck is great. Yeah.
I scrolled past and I had to go back up, and it's like, how would I was scrolling that fast for? Jeff?
So not a bad show, even with the man down. The final thoughts for me, dog person, obviously. I spent a lot of time talking about my doggies.
And a lemur person.
So, and a lemur. And hey, if you have a duck, let us know about that too. Let's tag us in that stuff too. Because I would love to see the ducks. But yeah, so that's all we got for this episode. Remember to join the conversation in the comments section if the platform allows it. Like Steve said, send us a voicemail on Spotify if you're listening on Spotify. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure you sub. Do all that stuff. Make sure, if you're listening on Spotify, by the way, make sure you rate the show 5 stars as well. Give us a little 5-star rating. If you're watching this on another platform, you can rate it on there. And if you want to rate us on the other platform, if you want to give us a follow, anything, give us all the stuff and all the things. Just hit the follow button, hit the sub button, hit the ratings, hit the comments, all of it. We want to hear from you. Hopefully you're enjoying the show in our 4th episode here. So until next time, keep ripping them and don't tell anyone it was you. Peace.
I own that.